This is something most of us don't want to watch because it gets pretty gruesome. But that's essentially what happens in a large percentage of forklift accidents. As safety and health specialists for the Department of Labor and Industries, we investigate forklift accidents. In a large number of these, the driver has been crushed between the overhead guard and the ground. Just like a mouse in a trap. People are usually surprised at how deadly a forklift accident can be. That's because they're used to seeing forklifts zip around, making tight turns in and out of narrow spaces. And since they act nimble, people assume they're light. But that's wrong. Dead wrong. Even without a load, a forklift can weigh as much as 2 passenger cars. When it tips over, it comes down hard and fast. But that doesn't mean the driver needs to end up like our poor mouse. They're supposed to stay in the cage and stay alive. The driver's cage is designed to withstand many times the force of a tip over. The trick is keeping the driver inside the cage. See, a driver might mount and dismount a forklift many times a day. They'll do it quickly, naturally, they'll do it automatically. And when something goes wrong, the forklift starts to tip over, their first impulse can often be to try to jump clear. This model illustrates why that impulse can turn out to be so deadly. As soon as the center of gravity gets outside of the machine's stability triangle, the heavy weight of the forklift acts like the spring in a mousetrap. We talk about the stability triangle because even on a forklift with 4 wheels, the pin on the rear axle makes it act like it's balanced on a triangle. As long as the center of gravity stays within the stability triangle, the forklift stays upright. But when the center of gravity moves outside of the triangle, over it goes. And the further outside the triangle the center of gravity gets, the more force is pulling to top downward, and the faster it goes. By the way, the higher the load is raised, the faster the center of gravity moves outside the stability triangle. That's why the rules say you should travel and turn with the forks as low as possible. But tip-overs do occur. Drivers get in a hurry, travel and turn corners with a load raised, hit potholes, drive over ramps or loading docks. And that's why seat belts are so important, to keep the driver in the cage. They override the impulse to jump to safety. Many forklifts are also equipped with these side restraints. They help remind the driver that they are in the safest place to be. And of course, there's no substitute for good, effective training programs. That's actually where saving drivers' lives all begins.
These 4 fingers. So what are you going to do now? Excellent, excellent. And then you don't hear that.
Training on each machine the person will operate in the workplace, and training on hazards specific to that workplace. Starting with the seat belt every time. Teaching the rule of drop and roll. Making sure the driver understands why that's so important.
Does that make sense? So the key as a safe operator is to make sure that the center of gravity stays in the stability triangle.
And then enforcing the rules. We've used the mouse and a trap as an illustration of what often happens to a forklift driver in a tip over. But you need to remember that's all that it is, just an illustration. We're actually talking about people's loved ones, someone's son or daughter, someone's mother or father, that spouse that left for work this morning but will never be coming home again. That permanent emptiness at the dinner table. If you really want to see the seriousness of forklift tip overs, ride along with someone the next time they go to notify a next of kin about an accident. What you'll see right in front of your eyes is the complete, total devastation of a fellow human being. someone suddenly and completely drained of all their dreams, all their happiness, of their complete future. It's an experience that will haunt both of you for the rest of your lives. And then you'll become like me. You'll never again accept an excuse for not wearing a seatbelt or for taking any other shortcut when it comes to safety. And if you're a forklift driver, remember, it's not just you riding along there in the cage.